Right, I will be talking about Zooform. So, I bet you're wondering what Zooform is. Zooform is used to describe creatures that defy any other description. They are creatures that are both real and unreal. Flesh and blood and not flesh and blood. So if that has you a bit confused, hopefully by the end of this talk, you'll have a better idea. Now, as an example of Zooform, if someone was to be asked today if you saw a strange black object moving at the back of a field, what they thought they were seeing, they may say they're seeing a black cat. Big black cat wandering about. Or, if you're more sceptical, you may say it's just simply a plastic bag stuck on a fence. Now, with Zooform, there's a third option. It might not be the plastic bag stuck on the fence. It might not be the black cat. What if it's actually a strange creature that looks like a bin liner, but is really a black bag monster? Zooform are the strange creatures that somehow defy any kind of logic, but still reported to be seen. So, what we need to do really is look at how Zooform fits into cryptozoology. And to do that, we really need to go back to the beginning. We start off with zoology. That's like real science. Then, according to some people, it's got a very questionable pseudoscience cousin called cryptozoology, the study of the unknown and hidden animals. Then, if we travel to the darkest depths of cryptozoology, to the weirdest edges of it, we find Zooform. And it's all the strange creatures that defy any other kind of explanation. So, if we look in more detail at cryptozoology, and we can split the different animals that people are looking for into different sections, that'll give you an idea, again, just how far Zooform is away from standard. We've got two creatures on the screen. We have the thylacine and the ivory-billed woodpecker. Both these creatures are currently being looked for. Both are classed as extinct, but have been extinct for less than a century. And they're widely believed to still be around, just awaiting discovery. Now, with these two creatures, we're in no doubt that these are flesh and blood. There are people who will have seen them within their lifetime, possibly. However, some other cryptozoology creatures are a bit harder to say if they exist or not, but still widely believed. We have Bigfoot. As you've heard already tonight, there is good reason to believe Bigfoot could exist. However, we don't have a record of Bigfoot existing. So we're still trying to prove that it does. So there's still that area of doubt. It might exist, it might not exist. But from the number of sightings, we would say there's a good chance it does. We can even find a way that it could fit in to the local nature. With sea serpents. Sea serpents are a mystery because they're reported and have been reported worldwide. You would think, therefore, they wash up on a beach. So far from what I've searched, I've yet to find a single sea serpent that has actually washed up on a beach. Rather, I've found lots of strange things said to be sea serpents. And yet people have seen them. Again, they're quite convinced they exist. The oceans are big enough and deep enough for strange animals to be lurking that we possibly don't know about. So again, we could say that sea serpents have a chance of existing. But then we move on to creatures that are more likely to be zooform. We have the Jersey Devil, that unholy mixture of bat-winged donkey camel picture, and the big grey man of Ben McDermott, I think. Now, both of these creatures are reported to have been sighted. They both have traditions around them, and both are impossible to exist. I think the Jersey Devil has not only hooves, but hooves with horseshoes on. You would think that if there was somebody putting shoes on it, they'd have noticed this strange creature coming in. The fact nobody has, it's either very good at doing it himself, or there's something there that we don't really know what it is. With the big grey man, now the picture certainly is an effect on the camera. It's simply, you stand in front of a strong light, your shadow is pushed onto the cloud. And yet there are stories from the mountain of people hearing the footsteps, but nobody has ever found this big grey man. Now, we're not talking an endless expanse of thousands of miles. We're talking the top of a mountain in Scotland. There's nowhere for a big creature to hide. And yet again, there's reports of it existing. So, to cover these kind of creatures, Zooform appeared. But simply, these are forms that somehow pretend to be animals, but with no chance of ever finding. Now, the idea of Zooform only formed quite recently. And the first mention of strange animals that fitted into this were in Jan and Colin Bald's book Alien Animals, in a chapter entitled Animals That Aren't, which tells tales of creatures that simply cannot be real creatures, but again that have been spotted. This led to, in 1992, John Downes, the founder of CFZ, coining the term Zooform to cover these animals. And then in 2007, Neil Arnold produced the book Monster, the A to Z of Zooform, which is a great book if you've got a copy, and if you haven't, there's one for sale still. And it lists all the different types of Zooform creatures you can find. And since around 2009, not much else has been done on Zooform. So, when we're looking at Zooform, we're not just taking into account all the sightings of creatures that can't be as true Zooform. In China, there is the tradition of the nine-headed bird. Now, the nine-headed bird does turn up in folklore. It turns up in this image. There are 9 heads amongst that jumble of feathers. Now, there are no reports of a 9-headed bird being seen. It is actually believed to be based on a tribal totem that has been passed down as folklore. That simply, there was some tribe of nasty people who had a 9-headed bird on a pole. They came in, destroyed your village. The surviving villagers realised that if you keep seeing the 9-headed bird, you're in trouble. And from there, it's grown into the 9-headed bird will get you if you don't behave. But it doesn't make it a Zooform creature. All it is a story. The next one is even less promising as Zooform, but again does appear to be listed as a creature. This is the hooper. Now the hooper can be found in Senna Cove in Cornwall. And it's said on a misty, stormy day, there's a strange noise to be heard, a kind of hooting noise that comes out of the mist. And if you hear this noise, the hooper is about, and you shouldn't go out to sea. Now, the hooper is actually to be found on the set of rocks in the picture. It would suggest that actually, rather than being a mysterious, invisible creature that turns up and warns sailors, it could be some kind of a noise made by the waves crashing upon those rocks in bad weather. Again, there's nothing to show there's a real creature behind that story. The next strange animal we have, the phantom kangaroo. Now, the phantom kangaroo is reported all over America. It's thought it could be some ghostly shade of some long extinct marsupial that roamed around North America. But we have phantom kangaroos in this country. In fact, this wallaby was seen bouncing around Garstand a couple of years ago. For some reason, we don't consider that a phantom. We consider that an escaped pet. For some reason in America, we don't consider pets escaping. So while they have a tradition of phantom kangaroos, we simply don't. And again, we can see there, it's not really a true zooform creature. Rather, it is a creature that is out of place. It's closer to being true cryptozoology, an out-of-place animal, rather than a zooform where it's a mysterious creature that doesn't really appear. The next creature is the corporeal, which is the Icelandic hot spring bird, which is a great little bird to be found in Iceland. And this bird has been sighted throughout the centuries, and it has one great skill that no other bird has managed. It can live in the boiling hot waters of hot springs. It's been seen to fly into these hot pools, swim around, go under the water, jump back up, race away. If somebody goes out hunting and these birds spot them, they go straight to the hottest pool and sit in it. Nobody will approach them. So far, it's looking good to be some kind of mysterious creature. It's got one very strange fact about it though. If you do manage to catch one of these birds, the way to cook it is in a pan of cold water. You're doing the exact opposite to cooking a normal bird. Whether that includes not washing your hands after preparing it and catching food poisoning, we don't know. But there is a big problem with this bird, and that is simply you cannot trust the temperature of a geyser. While hot springs can boil you in seconds in certain parts, in other parts it can be quite cool. The other thing is, if you're ever anywhere cold, with temperatures around zero and there's vaguely hot water outside, you will notice steam on it. You don't need to have boiling water to give the impression of steam coming off it. You just need vaguely warm water in a cold climate. So again, you can have these birds, just a normal bird, swimming around in a normal pool. You won't go near it because you see the steam and you naturally assume that if the pool next to it is full of boiling water, the other one must be as well. So it is more likely to be a real bird sighted and misidentified as this hot spring bird. But we do have some better candidates for zooform. Now, this sighting took place in Mendlesham Forest, a place that is supposedly famous for some UFOs. And when I found this rather charming picture of the signpost of Mendlesham Forest, all that sprung to mind was, well, to be honest, fly tipping and dogging. It's the most unpromising tourist picture I've ever found. However, that's nothing to do with the story. It was in Mendlesham Forest in 1983. A couple spotted a flickering dog. This dog was seen to walk in front of them, but seemed to fade in and out of reality as it went past. I'd like to think it wasn't walking behind trees. But if it was indeed walking in front of them, then it's no dog that we know. No animal we know can come in and out of the real world. So this would be a good candidate for zooform. Simply, it is a creature that defies what we know about animals. We have another strange encounter from the 1980s in Indiana. This time, a couple of people walking in the countryside along a trail suddenly noticed a pair of red eyes appear out of a bush. And these red eyes eventually formed a dark shadow around them, at which point they headed off in the opposite direction. And nothing more is known of these red eyes. And today we just know as the red eyes of Brickmore. Now, that's the only sighting we've got of them, but again it makes a good zooform creature, because we know nothing with red eyes. It only turns up the once, but it's enough to convince people that it exists. But it also shows one of the problems with Zooform. We don't seem to build up any kind of reference on them. We see them the once and decide it's real. If it fits certain criteria, it has to be real. Now, one problem with Zooform is you can have a creature that fits all the things for Zooform and at the same time isn't. The Loch Ness Monster. It could be a misidentified animal, it could be a hoax, it can be a real something, and it can be a Zooform creature. So we have this other problem. We have other mystery creatures that seem to take a bit of everything. So again, while you could say that, say, the Loch Ness Monster is a Zooform creature, other sightings of it clearly are not. So you'd probably have to discount that as well. Now, there's another possibility with Zooform. In the UK, we now have reports of sightings of Bigfoot and of werewolves. Now, we never used to have sightings of Bigfoot in the UK. This could be simply because it's a desire to have Bigfoot in the UK, because once you've seen programmes in America of how much fun it is to be going looking for Bigfoot, you want to find it in your nearest park. It could, however, be that we are seeing something that wants us to believe it's Bigfoot. Now, one reason for that could be there really is something out there that doesn't want to be discovered. If we now have Bigfoot, we have werewolves. But 30 years ago, we had big black cats. Okay, big black cats aren't reported as much these days. That could simply be the media not interested in them. It could be they're now appearing as Bigfoot. What if this strange, mysterious black creature was to be found 100 years ago? And 100 years ago, there are no black cats to be found, there are no werewolves or Bigfoots to be found, but there are black dogs. So we see a strange black dog that doesn't have any real form. We then see a strange black cat that we can't identify. We then see a Bigfoot that is impossible. So are we seeing something that our mind is telling us, making it easy for us to see so we're not upset by its look? And the reason could be because actually we're seeing something like this. This big scary thing that H.P. Lovecraft probably had cheery evenings writing about. What if we're actually seeing something like that? And yet our mind says to us, we don't want to see that really. Our mind gives us something nicer to look at. So we pop out the doors and spot this dirty, grey creature, but our mind tells us it's something completely different. So where we have one definite Zooform creature. Now, with Zooform, however, there is something equally strange about it. While doing research for this talk, I happened to find out that two other researchers have done a talk on Zooform, and both claim to have been attacked by a Zooform creature later that night. One claimed to be attacked by a giant invisible snake that grabbed him by the leg and dragged him out of the bed. He ran away, leaving his girlfriend behind. if there's nothing there, what were we being attacked by? Hopefully nothing, otherwise I'm in for a shock tonight. But if I am attacked by a zooform creature during the night, I will try and bring it in tomorrow. So if you want to get any selfies with a zooform, that's where you'll find it.
Yeah.
Well, I think the true meaning of zooform, however, is much more important. Now, when I first started looking at zooform, I often thought of a question, but if you were seeing a black object at the end of the field, what was it? Was it the black cat, the black dog, the bin liner, or the bin liner monster stuck on the fence? And then it suddenly struck me, zooform is brilliant. It's not the black cat by the fence, it's not the bin liner on the fence, it is the fence. Because zooform allows you to sit on it. Because now you have a third choice. Bigfoot in America. Do we believe Bigfoot exists? Some of us do, some of us don't. But those who sit on the fence now can say it's zooform. That way we don't need the proof to say it is or it isn't. We're happy to say it could be. The Loch Ness Monster, we no longer have to say, well, it can't be a giant prehistoric animal swimming around the loch. But it can if it's zooform, because quite clearly it wants you to believe it's that. And this is the wonder of zooform, that simply it gives us a way of believing more things. Which, considering some of the things we like to believe, is probably a good idea. So, that's basically the idea of what zooform is. Now, if you're wondering about this strange bin liner creature, you'd be glad to know it's not real. But it is based on a zooform creature. Now, this zooform creature was spotted in 1904 in Edinburgh. When Godfrey Alexander was walking through a street in Edinburgh one day, he noticed a black object around 4 foot in length, moving like a giant caterpillar, leap up and attack a horse. After attacking a horse, it disappeared. Trying to imagine what that creature would be like, and this is where I conjured up this bizarre black lumpy teeth. As I've not tried a horse next to it, I don't know how it moves, but I would like to think it's like a giant caterpillar. And in popular culture, some of the other creatures you would associate with zooform would be the Mothman, makes appearances, the skin-changing creatures in American folklore, like I say, Bigfoot in places where Bigfoot shouldn't be, things like water horses, some are believed to be Bigfoot, zooform, and like I say, there's all kinds of other strange creatures, from invisible snakes to red-eyed monsters, strange monkey-like creatures, anything weird really. So, that roughly brings to the end of my talk. So, thank you for all attending today. We shall be back tomorrow.